Assalamu alaikum. So we're going to do a little bit of an alteration to an existing trouser. This is from the days when trousers were wide-legged trousers. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut this down to make it into a slim-fitting trouser, and then we're going to make a new dress. Now we often have lots and lots of salwars, trousers and churidars and pajamas and stuff lying around, and it's not normally the trousers that go out of fashion, but it's often the case where the dress has gone out of fashion. And now with the trousers, especially with these kind of trousers, what we can do is cut an existing one down and make it into a new style. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're just going to take the one side off, and then we're going to turn it over, and we're going to cut down the other side as well. So this is going to make it more of a narrower fitting trouser, and still a little bit wide. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back and cut this down to the required width. So it's going to be quite a narrow, more of a straight leg trouser now. So it's going to be a bit of a change, and leaving a seam allowance. I'm going to make the seam allowance just a little bit wide, and then I'm going to hand turn the bottom of this. So exactly the same to the other leg as well. So it's just a shame to actually do away with completely, make a completely new trouser when we know that this will serve the purpose of the trouser. And this is a brilliant way to revamp your wardrobe and do slight bits of alterations like this to your existing garments, and then just get totally. Naya doesn't come downstairs, she's probably upstairs. So we've taken that much of excess away. Now when I come to seaming this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start slightly bit above and then blend in the seaming as we go down, and again even here blend it in starting from. And do you know what, this is going to serve as two things. One, we're going to save obviously on time and effort that is required in cutting a completely new trouser and stitching, because most of the work is done on this. It's only the bottom tightening up and basically just a couple of seams, and also it's a big saving. We don't have to spend additional amounts on the trouser. Now the dress fabric, this is something that has come from Pakistan, and it's linen, it's print linen. So we're just going to do a straightforward kameez out of this. Now one of the problems that we often have with Pakistan fabrics is they don't give enough fabric. Generally this is like 1.5 yards or 1.5 meters, and it's normally not enough to make, you have a problem getting the sleeves out. Now this one, we are going to have to make the sleeves where either we're going to have to join pieces, or we're going to have to add dome on like a angle, not on a bias, on a across the grain. So this particular dress, I'm actually, this is my daughter-in-law's, and she's lost a fair bit of weight. She's been suffering from gallbladder stones, and she's been in a lot of pain, bless her. And she's due to have an operation, but she's suffering from that. She's lost a lot of weight, so everything's too wide on her. And especially with linen, problems we have with linen is it tends to lose its shape quite a bit. So the edges of linen, tend to start dragging down. So I'm going to cut this according to her measurements, and we're just going to quickly go through the cutting procedure of how we're going to do this. I'm always having problems with crayons, with the chalk. Always disappears, and so I resort to using crayons when I can't find the chalk. Okay, so tape measures disappeared. So we're gonna go via the length, and length I'm gonna make it, just make sure that I've got enough material. I'm gonna make it 40 inches because I'm gonna add a little bit of a with these type of I prefer to add lace to these, so I'm gonna add a bit of lace at the bottom of this, just to give it a nice drop and also give it shape. So shoulder measurement 15, and then for the armhole I'm just going to measure it 8 inches down and just curve it around in my box and then bust is 42, and waist length measure it down 15 inches, and waist we're going to do like 10, mark it out, and then mark it out for hips, and I'm just going to slightly shape it, make it so that it's a little bit wider at the bottom, and just now this is obviously not enough, so we're gonna cut the sleeves unless we want to add pieces, which we're not gonna bother. So sleeves, now the other thing that I would advise with linens, one of the biggest problems we have with linen is it tends to crinkle up, and you know, your sleeves end up being up here, and this is a general problem that I've noticed with a lot of mine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a silk trim, quite wide silk trim, so that it doesn't shrink on the sleeve area. So with this now, I'm just going to take it straight to the ironing board and center mark this for the neckline, and we're going to stick to fairly simple sewing on this, so really it's just going to be very straightforward.